Adventures in Time and Space. Transcribed in future tense.
Dimension X.
The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction, bring you Dimension X. Ralph Waldo Emerson speculated If the stars should appear one night in 1,000 years, how would man believe and adore and perceive for many generations the remembrance of the city of God? Now, this was philosophically interesting. But on the edge of the galaxy, there is a planet which swings on its orbit in a cluster of 6 suns. These suns hang in the sky above. Never less than 2 shine down through the entire 23.8 hours of the planet's day. The yellow light has burned down on the planet continuously into the past, till the mind of man runneth not to the contrary. Theremin was a reporter for the Cerro City Chronicle. He covered them all, from the night police beat to politics to the sports pages. And the city editor wanted him to cover the biggest story of the year, perhaps of all time. It was an interview, a particularly difficult interview. But then, since his first days as a cub, Theremin had specialized in difficult interviews. He didn't expect violence, though, from an astronomer.
You're from that newspaper? Well, you've got a lot of gall coming here.
Now, wait a minute, Dr. Aton. It's only a job.
I've read your paper. You've been writing this observatory for 2 months now. You've attacked me personally. I have nothing to say to you.
All right, look, this is your chance to get your side in the paper. I'll give it to you straight. 2 months ago, the observatory issued a press statement that the world was coming to an end. Now, that's the same story that the cult of Revelations has been preaching. And when a scientist backs that up, it's news.
Our conclusions have nothing to do with the cult. The cult of Revelations is full of superstition and mysticism. We are scientists.
Yeah. And you got the people pretty angry.
That does not matter.
You know, if I can't get the story from you, I'll have to go somewhere else.
Go ahead.
All right. You know, Dr. Aton, the paper can be pretty rough on someone who doesn't cooperate.
Young man, if you're not out of the observatory within 5 minutes, I shall call the police. Now get out.
The reporter walks down the long hall from the observatory. The light filters through the high windows, the yellow light of Gamma, the brightest of the 6 suns in the planet's sky. Beta is almost at zenith. Its red light floods the landscape to an unusual orange. The planet's sun, Alpha, is at the antipodes. And now as Gamma sinks below the horizon, the red dwarf sun, Beta, is alone, grimly alone. It's a short drive from the observatory to Cerro City, and the red light glares from the highway. The temple of the cult stands, hewn from the solid rock of the Dormite Mountains, outside the city. And in the inner courtyard stands Sor, the priest of the cult.
Woe to the unbelievers! Their souls will rot with the absence of light.
Sor! Sor, wait! Your Reverence, please! Please. Tell me, Your Reverence, what will happen? What are you waiting for here?
The day of the coming, is written in our doctrine of Revelations. It came to pass that the sun, Beta, was alone in the sky. The world was shrunken and cold. Men did assemble in the public squares and highways. Their minds were troubled and their speech confused, for the souls of men awaited the coming of the stars. The lip of the cave of darkness passed the edge of Beta, and loud were the cries of men. There was no light on the surface of the world. In this blackness there appeared the stars in countless numbers. In that moment the souls of men departed from them. Their abandoned bodies became even as beasts. And the stars then reached down the heavens' flame, and where it touched, the cities of the world flamed to destruction. So that of man and all the works of man naught remained. George, it's written.
Dr. Sharon, you're the only scientist I could find in the city. Where is everybody?
In the hideout.
In the hideout?
The place bored me. I wanted to be out here where things are getting hot. I want to see the stars the cultists are talking about. Besides, they don't want me at the hideout. I'm too scrawny to survive.
Well, wait a minute. What is the hideout?
Well, we professors have managed to convince a few people that our prophecy of doom is valid. We've got about 3,000 people. They're supposed to hide where the darkness and the stars can't get at them. We hope they'll survive and leave records.
Survive? Survive what?
Oh, there are lots of names for it. The cultists have their myths.
Oh, yes. What about that? What is there to these myths? As a matter of fact, what is there to this doctrine of revelations?
I'm a psychologist, not an archaeologist. How true it is, I don't know. But the cultists say that every 2,050 years, all the suns disappear, and there is a total darkness. And then they say things appear called stars. Of course, men go mad. They mix all this up with a lot of religio-mystic notions, but that is the central idea.
Yeah. Well, that's impossible, isn't it? I mean, there are always at least 2 suns in the sky, most of the time 4 or 5.
There are not now, only Beta.
Dr. Sharon, you mean that there's going to be worldwide darkness tomorrow? That all mankind will go violently insane? What's behind that?
Well, for one thing, this is history of civilization of the world. We've located a series of cycles of civilizations comparable to our own, all of which, without exception, were destroyed by fire at the very height of their culture.
All right. But is there any scientific theory behind this and that would explain it?
The University Observatory finished their calculations 2 months ago. Tomorrow there will be an eclipse of Beta so that the planet will become dark. That eclipse comes every 2,049 years. Darkness comes. Maybe those mysterious stars that no man has ever seen. And then madness and the end of civilization.
I see. And the scientists expect to live through this at the hideout, huh?
They plan to photograph the eclipse and leave the records, and then the rest of mankind will know what to expect.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Sharon, what is there in darkness to drive men mad?
Have you ever experienced darkness, young man?
No, but I know what it is. It's just, well, no light.
Draw the curtain.
Well, what for? If we had 4 or 5 suns out there, we might want to cut the light down for comfort, but with only Beta...
That is the point. Just draw the curtain and then come here and sit down.
All right. What? Dr. Sharon, I can't see you.
Feel your way.
Yeah, but I can't see anything.
Do you like it?
Well, no, it's awful. The walls. They seem to be closing in on me. I want to keep pushing them away.
All right. Draw the curtain back again.
The light. Dr. Sharon, have you got a drink?
Right here. That was just a dark room.
Yeah. It wasn't really so bad.
You're afraid.
Yes, I am. Just darkness can do that?
This isn't just a metaphysical theory, young man. It's promulgated from observed data. Come with me.
Where?
The locked ward down the corridor.
All right.
Were you at the Saro City Centennial Exposition 2 years ago?
No, I was overseas on assignment.
You remember hearing about the tunnel of mystery that broke all records in the amusement area?
Yeah. Wasn't there some fuss about it? The Anti-Vice Society had it shut down?
It was shut down, all right, but the Blue Noses had nothing to do with it.
Oh?
That tunnel was nothing but a mile-long passage through darkness. You rode in a little car, and it took 15 minutes to get through. Very popular while it lasted.
Popular?
There's a fascination in being frightened when it's part of a game. Absence of light is one of the instinctive human fears. People came out of that 15 minutes of darkness shaking and half dead with fear.
Half dead? I thought there were some deaths.
Bad hearts, but that wasn't the big danger. Now, which key is this?
Wait a minute, Dr. Sharon. Where are we going?
You'll see. No, the heart attacks were actually good for business, but there was something else. Here, I'll show you. I want you to see somebody. Latimer. Latimer.
Go away.
Latimer, I want you to meet somebody. This is Mr. Theremin.
No. No, go away.
Hello?
He's pushing me. Make him stop pushing me. Go away.
I'm not touching him. What's wrong?
Latimer is afraid.
The walls. They're falling in on me, the walls. I've got to get out. Let me out.
You can't go out, Latimer. It's all right.
I've got to get out. Let me out. Let me out.
That sleeping period, we have to give him a shot of morphine. Otherwise, he'd bat his brains out against the wall.
Well, what's wrong with him?
Nothing. Nothing but 15 minutes in the darkness of the tunnel of mystery.
Oh, Doctor, that's impossible.
1 person out of 10 came out of the tunnel that way. That's why we had to shut it down.
Why? Why should darkness do that?
It's obvious man cannot exist without light. Longer periods of darkness would obviously be fatal. The scientific theory is that the consciousness of light is necessary for mental activity.
Please. Please, doctor, let me outside. Let me outside. Please, I can't breathe. They're pushing me. They're always pushing me. I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
There you are, Theremin. That's what 15 minutes of darkness will do. Man just wasn't built to operate without light. There are always at least 2 suns in the sky, most of the time more.
Yeah. Just 15 minutes of darkness.
Now then, look out of that window. Imagine darkness everywhere. No light as far as you can see. Black. Everything black. And the stars, whatever they are, well, can you conceive it? Your mind wasn't built for that conception. When the real thing comes, you'll go mad completely and permanently. There's no question of it. Tomorrow, there won't be a city left standing in the world.
Well, why, Doctor? Why should the cities be destroyed?
If you were in darkness, what would you want more than anything else? What would it be that every instinct would call for? Light. And how would you get light?
I don't know.
You'd burn something, and every city in the world will go up in flames. Shall we go back to my office, Mr. Theremin, and have another drink?
Through the skies, the red sun Beta shines alone. The wind howls across the city. It's cold, colder than man can remember. And as the hour approaches, the reporter goes out and speaks to the man in the street.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, but I'm from the Chronicle. I'd like to talk to you.
Ah, a reporter, huh?
That's right.
My name is Pellet. 2 L's. Remember the 2 L's.
All right. Mr. Pella, what's your occupation?
Power technician at the North Division plant.
Uh-huh.
You're making some kind of a survey, huh?
Yeah, in a way. Where are you going now?
Home for supper.
Well, how about, well, what I mean is, what are you going to do tonight?
You mean about this star stuff?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, mister. It don't stand a reason that the end of the world is gonna come boom like that. It just don't stand a reason.
In other words, you don't believe it?
I didn't say that, but it just don't stand a reason.
Uh-huh. Have you read what the scientists say?
I don't read stuff like that. Only the headlines.
Yeah. How about the cult?
Well, not like I always say, I've got nothing against religion.
You don't believe them either?
Well, they've always been shouting about doom and sin. Listen, bud, when you've been around as long as I have, you get to know the score. It's all right to preach that Judgment Day is coming and all, but Just the same, I'm putting money in the bank.
Uh-huh. Well, tell me, how about darkness?
About what?
How would you feel if there was no light?
You crazy? How could there be no light?
Well, now, suppose all the suns went down at once. Suppose everything was black.
Well, it's crazy. What's the use of supposing something like that? It couldn't happen. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's all. Thank you.
Sure. Look, mister, remember, pilot with 2 L's?
Oh, excuse me, sir, but I represent the Chronicle, and we're conducting a poll to determine public opinion with regard to the predicted end of the world. How do you feel about it?
All this talk of scientific explanation. It's sinful. That's what it is.
Oh, I see. Well, then you're a member of the cult, sir.
I sure am. Been a member since I was a boy. My daddy was a member, too. I've seen the books. It's all writ down in the books.
Well, don't you believe the scientist's explanation?
Don't need it. Going to save my immortal soul. Going to stay on the mountaintop in a white robe while the stars carry me away to glory. Blessed be the stars. Amen.
Well, tell me, what are the stars?
The glory, the breath of the heaven, the spirit of the ultimate. That's what they are.
Uh-huh. Well, sir, the observatory has announced that it intends to take pictures of these stars.
Blasphemy. I sold my house, gave all my money to the poor. Won't need it anymore. Going to heaven with stars. Glory, glory, going with the stars.
A reporter checks the stock exchange, the stores. Business at a standstill. Doesn't pay to buy anything today, not if the world's going to end tomorrow. There are predictions of economic collapse in the financial section, layoffs at the factories on the edge of the city. And through the streets, the people mill in turn, unsure, crying in fear or shouting with bravado. But the story isn't here in the city. And so as the hour approaches, the reporter goes again to the observatory high in the hills.
Now, look, Dr. Raton, if you are right, if the world is going to be destroyed, what's the difference if I stay here and observe and take notes?
Well, nothing, I suppose, but you'll be in the way. We have work to do.
All right, if I stay out of the way.
I can't be bothered with you. Now, you'll have to leave, Mr. Theremin.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, hello, Dr. Sharon.
This place is like a morgue. It's freezing outside. The wind is enough to hang icicles on your nose. Beta doesn't seem to give any heat at all. It's so far away.
Why aren't you in the hideout, Sharon?
Me? I'm part of the race that isn't worth perpetuating. Who's got a bottle?
There will be no alcohol today. It would be too easy to get my men drunk. I can't afford to tempt them. Well, all right, Themin, you can stay, but keep out of the way.
Well, thank you, Doctor.
Well, gentlemen, I think it's time we took our positions. The observatory dome is up these stairs.
Yes, sir. After you, Doctor.
What's that? The dome, quick!
What is it?
The plates. The photographic plates, they're all smashed.
There he is. A cultist.
He's going for the telescope. After him.
I've got it! It must be destroyed. It must be.
It's all right. It's all right. He didn't harm anything. Let him up.
Well, that's the high priest, Dr. Raton. Soar is his name. I was talking to him yesterday.
What do you want, Sor?
Nothing that you would give me of your own free will.
I made a bargain with the cult to give me certain data you had. In return, I promised to prove the essential truth of the creed.
Don't do that.
Check, check, testing. We seem to have sound difficulties. Check, check, testing. 1, 2, 3, check, check, check. And good morning, people. That's your cue. Well, I'm glad the opening credits went well because I lost the sound on the last part of the show, and I don't know what happened. I was in there making coffee, and all of a sudden the sound went away. And I'm like, what the hell? You know? I'm like, what the hell? Totally, I said that. I said, what the hell? It was a bummer. The morning report is upon us. It is totally Old Time Radio Wednesday. Totally. Ruthie. And there we go. I am here. I am weird. Get used to it. It is a 5 a.m. It is the 10th of December. I got a slight sniffle this morning. I don't think I'm getting sick. I felt crappy yesterday. I thought for sure yesterday, oh, you're getting sick, dude. And then I got through the day okay. Now my daughter, she wakes up yesterday and she's like, I think I'm getting sick. I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit. I said, just get through your frickin' finals. Just squeeze through your finals and then get sick. Right? She's like, yeah, no shit, huh? Yeah. It's a drag when you got shit to do and you're sick as a dog. Hopefully nobody will get sick. Hopefully she's just feeling a little tired because, well, she's been overextending herself a lot lately with school and concerts and whatnot. So there you go. I'm just hoping that she gets through this without having any major drama, because that sucks. This is her last winter finals, and then she has her spring finals, and she's done. She's done completely, like earning a bachelor's degree completely. That's, wow. Oh, man, I still can't get over the fact that my little tiny baby is about ready to get a bachelor's degree. That's hilarious. Because, yeah, she was a little baby. 4 pounds. Underweight. Premature. Can you hear Joey snoring? More of a breathing rather than a snoring. Totally. I was cleaning up the old bong stem here and bowl and stuff because I want a good hit this morning. I really do. I really do. It's what I do. I might as well do a good job of it, right? Arr. 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 Yeah, I want to find a good one. Nice glass daisy here to put in my bongski bowl. Alright, that looks like a good one. Let's torch this one. See what we got. actually hear it sizzle. Totally. Totally. Sizzling. Sizzling, buddy. Totally. 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 So, I've been watching a little bit of Pauly Shore on social media. What's going on there? I see a lot of weird stuff. But I don't know if it's all part of his trying to get back into the media thing. But way to air your laundry. Okay? I mean, he's, you know, not a wealthy man. So he's had to be a roommate and rent rooms and rent little houses and guest places and apartments and stuff to live. And apparently, from what it says on his stuff, he's not the best tenant. I guess he's a little bit Karen-esque and entitled. And there are some people that just say he's a dick. Richard, he's a Rick. He's a Richie. Because, you know, nobody's perfect. I would actually like to meet Pauly Shore. I'm just afraid that it would end badly, right? Because I'm pretty easy to get along with. Until you start pulling that me bullshit. I'll leave you stranded in the middle of the fucking desert. You pull that shit with me. I'll just pull over and say, get out. I'll drag your ass out of the fucking car. Right? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I will. Totally. Had some technical difficulties this morning. I'm glad they went away, because I didn't really want to have to be futzing around this morning. It might have had something to do with the updates that both my computers went through last night. I did this one first, and of course the audio settings were wrong, so I had to go back in and reset the audio. Over here, I didn't notice anything at first, but after about a half an hour into the show, my audio died from my graphics computer. I rebooted Windows Media Player and played my opening, and it worked fine. So I don't know what the hell the issue was. I don't. I really don't. Nor do I care, because it seems to have fixed itself. We're still curtained up in here this morning. Joey's going to be here until Friday, so we're trying to keep the light from shining upon his slightly sleeping body. So I haven't really wanted to bust out the guitar early in the morning and start yelping. You know, who needs all that caterwauling in the morning? I certainly don't. Certainly do not. The movie of the week is Tron. TV show of the week is Chico and the Man. And we have yet to pick out an album of the day. Best of Bread was Monday, and Terrapin Station was yesterday. So we're looking for something 70s and 80s, some kind of band or album or something we can fiddle around with this morning. I spent last night, working on Old Time Radio Wednesday. No, I'm sorry, Flashback Friday. That's right. I still have Totally Television Tuesday and Throwback Thursday to do. They're both going to be on TV. I think Flashback Friday may also be on TV. I'm not sure. I kind of bounce back and forth in my head to try to come up with the best opening. I think I'm going to create one closing that I'm going to use for all of the days. Every day will have its own opening and theme and credits and that kind of stuff. But the end of the show, I think, is just going to stick with the same. So tie it all in together so you know it's the same show. Yeah. Coming up with all the stuff. That's heavy. What to do on the show every day for 2 hours. Most days I'll have extras so I can play commercials or music or whatnot. But most of the time I have to keep busy with content. So I'm going to create an agenda that I fill out every day after I do a show. I'll fill out the agenda for the next show with notes from that show. And that's really going to help. And then I can just set the show up right then and there. Take about an hour, create the graphics, find the images, whatever I need to do to put that show together, a movie trailer, a promo, or a song or something. I'm trying to decide how many songs I want to play. It's going to be a freeform radio broadcast, so I'm going to do news and commercials and station identification, and I'm going to play a song every, 10 minutes or so. If I do a song about every 10 minutes and then go into a commercial for a couple of minutes and then come back, I'm going to have some continuity. And every time I come back from a radio commercial, I'll need a topic to talk about. Hence the agenda, the list of things to do. And I can write in my topics and jot down any notes. Add post-its. Slip a sheet in there, a fact sheet if I need to. Sawing logs. Totally. So it should work out pretty good. Trying to figure out how exactly the show is going to look versus the opening versus the previous show and the other shows. Throwback Thursday is kind of be a Television Tuesday Part 2. I don't know how I want to handle Flashback Friday's screen. Last night I was creating an opening, and for some reason I was working on Throwback Thursday and Flashback Friday, and they became the same opening, and so now I need to pull them apart. And I think I just figured it out. Throwback Thursday will be the TV that I created last night with a dresser, and I need to dress it up a little bit. I also created a photo album with pages zipping by of me growing older. So I need to separate those two and take that photo album, and now I need to create a coffee table. And I need to create a coffee table with Simon and a few other things sitting on the table while we're zipping through that photo album. So I'll need to come up with a coffee table. Coffee table opening. Totally. That'll work. I need coffee. I got my coffee sitting here, and it's still hot. I'm just waiting. I gotta let my dentures set a few minutes before I start drinking hot liquid. Yeah. So next year's Old Time Radio Wednesday will be very different from this. It'll be very different from any day of the week, really. It's going to be a radio show day. I'm going to get on and broadcast as if I were on a radio and play music and commercials and have conversations, do morning stuff. Yeah, where's my... Totally Television Tuesday, Old Time Radio Wednesday, morning radio elements. Prank calls. Am I going to be able to do that and broadcast live a crank call? I don't know. I guess if I call up and say, hey, this is so-and-so from something radio, and we're calling to find out if you know the answer to this question, right? And do one of those call radio things. And then at the end say, nah, I'm just messing with you, man. We're live, but I'm just messing with you. I guess I will have to come up with a fake news or a fake radio station that I'll use as my fake radio station when I call people. Hey, do you listen to KABS radio? No, it's not surprising. We're new on the air. We're over at yada, yada, yada. I'll have to have some cellophane here so that I can crinkle it when I'm talking about the call signs and the KABS. And the call signs are... right? So be sure to look us up on the dial. Dial us up. I I've got to have some, pardon me, some kind of radio show elements. I am so beyond the radio that I used to listen to, like Mark and Brian and the early morning shit that was going on in the 80s. I'm so past that, I don't even remember any of it. So, radio drive time. Morning. Drive time radio. Okay. I don't know what. I know funny voices, right? Having conversations. Jokes. Right? Joke of the day. Right? So we can do jokes, stories, news, weather. I guess we could do traffic. Yeah, traffic ain't moving. There ain't no driving. Voices and calls. Maybe we'll take calls. I really get it. There's a friend of mine who does great stupid voices like I do, right? And I was kind of hoping that I could send him messages and say, I need you to call in as this guy, right? Call in as this guy and do it as long as you can and then hang up, right? But never stray from the character. That's key. If he could call and stay as a particular character for 5 minutes and have a conversation, that would be perfect. Or set it up so that I could call him. I'm so early in the morning here that I can't call anybody on my coast because I would piss a lot of people off. So I'm kind of burnt there. Now, the East Coast, there's people awake on the East Coast. So, I don't know. We've got to figure out a way to do a caller. Caller, call in, call out. We got to be able to call. Sawing them logs. Totally. Totally. All right, I'm going to have a sip. Mm-hmm. That'll work. It's chunky. Chunky. All right. There you go. There you have it. Radio elements, sounds, noises. Effects. Okay. Figuring out how to program sound effects into my daughter's keyboard would be perfect, right? I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if it's programmable. But that would be, excellent. I would record that and have it as one of the sounds. Totally. I think I'll save Sunday for a Today news program. And I'm not sure how I'll do it. It'd be great if I got a Sunday paper and I could just sit on the couch with a cup of coffee and a camera and look at the Sunday paper. Right? And read some articles and talk about stuff. As it is, I think it's going to wind up being kind of a mashup of all of the shows during the week, and is going to kind of wrap up everything that we've done that week, go a little further into some things, totally. But if I do end up with a Sunday show, it is going to more than likely be like CBS Sunday Morning. News and commentary and entertainment stories. I would like to be able to go out once a week and shoot something and come back and edit together a little 5-minute story or 20-minute story, something to for you guys to view, so that I actually had that too. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work to go out and shoot something and then come back and then make it viewable, right? That's a lot of work. My intentions originally were to do just that, was to just shoot a lot of footage and create a lot of videos and I started doing that, and it would take me a week to do one little 2-minute video, and I'm like, oh, this ain't gonna work. When I found live, that's where I could work and not have to continue the work once I was done with the shooting. It's in the can, man. Once I turn the stream off, the show's done. It's finished. I don't have to go back to it. I don't have to do anything to it. So a lot of my shows now, I think, are going to be live, so that I create it, produce it, air it. It all happens live. And when I'm done with it, I just walk away from it and go on to the next one. And rather than have to keep working, spend a couple of days building up to a live show, do my live shows, and then spend some more days working up to the next live shows. These live shows are easy. Next season's live shows are totally going to be different. I will have to invest time every day after a show in order to produce the next show. Same thing with the weekend shows. When I do weekend shows, I'm going to be working on those shows the day I finish the show. I'll be working on the next show. I'm sure that for my first Saturday show, I'll probably work several days on it, so that after I do it once or twice, I'll only have to invest an hour to get ready for the next show, which is, that's all it should be. If I'm going to do a 2-hour show, I should be able to put together the next 2-hour show in about an hour, no more than 2 hours. It shouldn't take me any more time to produce the show than the actual length of the show. So I should just finish a show, produce the next show, finish a show, produce the next show, all week long. If I can set it up so that my Sunday morning show is super easy, then it'll be a regular thing. If I can set up the Saturday morning show so that it's super easy, it'll be a regular thing. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to up the ante on all of my morning shows. Add Saturday and Sunday. Continue to do mornings. Saturday morning I may come on, Saturday and Sundays I may come on a little bit later so that I can try to go after my West Coast audience. The only bummer is my house is busy on Saturday and Sunday from about 8 in the morning on. And I would want an 8 to 10 or a 10 to noon slot. And 8 to 10, that's everybody's morning schedule on Saturdays and Sundays. 10 to noon, I'm on my way to work on Saturdays and Sundays. I could produce a show, edit it together, and then air it live. So it'll be a live broadcast recorded earlier, basically. And that's probably going to be an option, is recorded earlier. And I do want to have some kind of show with my dog. I want to have 15 minutes where I can just he and I alone in the house on the couch, and I'll come up with some topics to talk to my dog about. I'll tell him stories, I'll teach him things, and just sit on the couch and talk to him. But it'll just be a conversation thing. But I'll need an empty house. And then what I'll do is I'll sit on the couch and I'll have a conversation with him. And then with the camera rolling. And then I'll just stay there, right? And maybe change my shirt and hat and stay on the couch with him and do 5 or 10 minutes and then sit there, change my shirt, and then just go right into another one, and then just record a bunch of them back to back in one recording, and then I can just throw them into my editing bay and pull out the segments that I want, edit them together, save it, and then drop back into the same file, back up, create the next little element, and basically I have a long file with 5 sections in it, and I just pull out a section. Actually, I grab the section, delete everything else, and spruce up this section. And then when I come back, I just hit undo, and I bring this section back that I deleted. I delete the first section, and then I pull another section out of this section, drop it in, and delete the end of it. And just keep doing that until I've taken all 5 segments out of my recording. Pretty basic. And then I can just sit here in one run, do everything there in one run, knock out 5 things here, not have to go back and forth. Okay, record. Okay, go sit down. Okay, I'm done. Okay, stop recording. Okay, record. Okay, go sit down. Oh, got to change my shirt first. Just sit on the couch, do it all in one long run, take an hour if I need to, and then just pull it out. Just pull it out of the video, whatever I'm looking for. And I used to do it the other way. I used to set up cameras and do takes. All right, live, lights, camera, action, do a take. Start over again. Start over again. And then I got to where, okay, I'm just going to keep going and going and going, and then I'm just going to pull out what I want, rather than have a bunch of little things to load up and go through. Pain in the ass. I just take one long recording and search through it for what I need and just dump the rest and edit it all together. That's fun. That's really fun. Monday is just about ready to go. Tuesday, I need to shoot a bunch of video of me here at my desk doing a bunch of Tuesday stuff. Morning stuff. Wednesday, I need to create a couple of I need to take the morning opening and I need to take the video, and I need to change the audio and create 3 more openings for Old Time Radio Wednesday, so that when you tune in every Wednesday, the opening theme and opening credits will sound a little different each time, different radio stuff going on. Totally. Once a Wednesday, I will play a Grateful Dead song. Most of what I play is going to be 1920s and 30s jazz, which is where it's at. Thursday. I need to create a show. I need to create a TV show, an actual show, a consumer advocate TV show. The Tuesday's TV show is going to be a morning show, a TV morning show. Wednesday is a radio morning show. Thursday is the TV show that follows the morning show, would normally follow the morning show on TV. So you'd have your morning show, and then you'd have your consumer advocate show after that. So Friday, I think it's just going to be a straight camera show, but we are going to go with camcorder stuff. Hopefully I can link us in a camcorder to use, or at the very least a webcam filtered so that it looks, towardly. So let's see if I take this and go there. Does my screen look any different? I don't know. I'm trying to use filters for my screen to try to get a different, by using my OBS online broadcasting software, I'm trying to filter it so that it'll look black and white or Kodachrome or Etchachrome or some. It'll look Kodak, or it'll look 35 millimeter. I'm trying to get it to where it looks different, So let me go here and let me grab a filter and color key. Can I do this? Opacity. I don't want to do opacity. Opacity rollers. Brightness. I don't see where that is working for me there. Close. Let's do this. Let's open it again and let's add gain. Okay. Did I gain anything? I don't think I gained anything. I didn't see any difference. I didn't see any difference. So I'm going to have to figure that out. I'd also like to get some overlays that I can put over my screen that change the appearance of the screen as well. That'll be nice. I'm a third of the way to my new hard drive. Do some more work this weekend and scrounge up another $40, and then I'm just 40 more bucks away. And then I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna by after the first of the year, I'm gonna get another external hard drive. Why, do you say? Because of the space. I need space. Eventually, I'd like to get my YouTube stuff downloaded onto a hard drive. That's asking a lot. That's a lot of information, a lot of data, a lot of ones and zeros. So I don't know if that's even possible at this point to bring home all of my YouTube stuff, you know, and I'll just have to research it. You know, I'll just have to research it. How? I know I have to pay extra so that I can download stuff onto my YouTube area and be able to manipulate it. But I need to be able to download it onto my computer hard drive and archive it. That's what I need. So hopefully I'll get to that point. What I could really use, I think, would be a large desktop computer with like a terabyte of hard drive. I would still continue to use the external hard drives to archive, but the speed, the ability to just work unhindered by space, that's what a desktop would do for me. A Chromebook or a Chrome tablet would be great for my desk here, so that I could work with all of my materials facing the camera. As it is now, I have to face this way because this is where all of my work is. I could do both, but I've got nothing here. I write stuff down and print things out to use from this angle, which of course right now there's a towel hanging here blocking light. Aziz, light. Stop it. So let's bong hit. Let's do that. Let's do a bong hit, and then we can go into the next hour feeling good, baby. I'm kind of in a holding pattern right now until my daughter gets out of school for winter break. Once I've got her on winter break and she's had a couple of days to get over finals, I'm really going to pick her brain. I'm really going to have some quality sit down and get shit done time with my daughter. Because she has the drive. She doesn't want it. She would prefer not to have to do all the things that she does. But she's so good at it. Just like she comes to me because she needs me for the things that I'm good at. It's reciprocal. I need to go after her for the things that she's good at it to help me. So now is the time. I'm going to start probably in the next few days, gather up a whole lot of information to go over with, and she and I will figure it out. Figure it out. It all comes down to fundraising, how to come up with the right amount of cash to start an arcade, and how big does it need to be to start in order for it to actually be a hit, right? I see a lot of machines, right? Where's my arcade? Okay, games, arcade video games are $2,500 to $6,000 a piece. Pinball games are about $3,000 to $10,000. Other games like skee ball, air hockey, cocktail tables are $2,000 to $6,000. A pool table, I can get a brand new pool table, right? Designed any way I want. It's not coin operated, but I can just rent out the balls in the rack, right? A brand new table for $2,100, built locally. So that's a good deal. So it's a matter of what video games, what the price on average is going to be for the average video game. I even drew out a diagram of what the place should look like, just so that I can get an idea of how big it should be and where to kind of how to design it, and how big does it need to be to have so many machines in it. We can start off with so many machines, and then we need room to grow and add more machines. On average, if we start off with half of the machines we want, then we should get about a new machine every month in order to grow properly, right? And then get to where we have extra machines. We have a machine in the back that's getting worked on. We've got 2 machines out front that are new. You know, we got 2 showing up that need to be refurbished, that kind of shit. I think if we start off with like a half dozen games, pool table and air hockey, we should be able to get rolling, right? Get one pool table, 1 air hockey, 6 video games. 2 of them should be like cocktail video games. And just kind of start off so that, okay, look, here's where we're at. We have the budget to get more games, but what we need to do is open and add to that budget, right? So that every month we get 1 or 2 more games added. Eventually we should have a small building warehouse where we have several machines that are extra machines in case something breaks down, machines that are in refurbishment. Nice and quiet this morning. No obnoxious large lawnmower noise. Good for you. I got a lawnmower here. Every once in a while you can hear them sawing logs. Totally excellent. I love the sound of someone sleeping. It's so peaceful. It makes me feel so relaxed. The sound of my daughter sleeping, Joey sleeping, my wife sleeping, a dog sleeping. I made a little bed right here under my desk so I could have a dog sleeping down here. That my dogs snore when they sleep. I love it. They twitch and shake and make little noises and stuff. It's awesome. So yeah, I think that it costs $75,000 to construct a metal building. $75,000 to construct a metal building. That does not include the price of the land. I'm gonna need approximately 1,500 square feet. That's pretty big. But that's only 30 feet wide by 50 feet long. So it's not real huge. I mean, 30 feet wide. That's just enough room to get games along both sides of the wall, and then be able to put more rows in from that. So there should be up front, there should be 3 rows of machines walking in the doorway. Up against the walls and then down the middle on either side. Air hockey can be right in the middle because you just need a person at either end. Pool tables will be on either side because you will need room around them unencumbered by people's movements and walking and stuff. So, plenty of seating along the walls. There should be plenty of places for people to sit. Bar stools for people to sit on to play games. If you can sit down, you're going to play a game longer. So there should be plenty of seating everywhere. Beanbags in little dark corners with little charging stations, little cup holders and stuff. Just kind of make it... I've got... In my diagram here, I've got like a little chair area and then a couple of games and then a little chair area and then a few games and then a little couch area. Because it's going to be about people hanging. You know, up against the walls we'll have games that will have stools in front of them. Out in the aisles, so to speak, there'll be games where you don't necessarily want to or can sit down, right? But they'll have stools around. I want to have a little area with a couple of couches and big chairs and a little tables so people can sit down and do nothing if they want. Sit on their phone and play games. A snack bar and places to eat. Little tables and areas to hang out. So kids can come from their school and do their group, their club there. And that would be cool. You know. A nice big kitchen area so that we can do snacks, but we can also do big stuff and have a big to-do, right? And then it's got to have a huge outdoor area with lots of shade and cool spots, warm spots, hidden spots, lots of shrubbery and lights, and like walking around an amusement park in those little areas, pathways behind and around stuff. Mini golf where there's little cubbies to sit and hang out, right? We need little spots like that so when you go outside you can go around and make out spots, kind of. You know, little spots to go hang out, a little place for two people to sit at a table and eat, secluded, and have a bunch of these little places in a big garden outside, almost as big as the building itself. So you can have more going on and not have to worry about capacity, right? It starts to fill up and people automatically just kind of pour outside because it starts to get too crowded. 1,500 square feet. You could fit a lot of people into 1,500 square feet, even with all of the machines and games and stuff. I don't know where to find a 1,500 square foot building. We'd have to be open for at least a year to find out if it's worth buying property and constructing a building, right? I do want to stay in our town, Joshua Tree, but in Yucca Valley, there's a couple of buildings that would be perfect. One in particular is an old laundromat. Perfect because it has electricity everywhere. All of the water can be capped and buried back in the walls. But it's got electricity every so often on the walls, right? It's like it almost made for it. So you redo all of the plumbing in there. Get rid of all of the drains on the floors. And I wouldn't want to, like, completely get rid of them. I would just want to cover them up. So, have concrete floors. And then just have grates over the drains so that they're still there. You just put grates over them. Metal, shiny copper, brass or something. Something that looks good. High ceilings. Keep the industrial look. Tint the glass and darken the walls. So there's options. And the good thing about the laundromat is that it's within walking distance of the high school. And it's just as far away from the junior high as it would be to have it here. So being in Yucca Valley wouldn't make any difference as far as school kids. The only reason I would want it in Joshua Tree would be for the 100% tourist trade, because there's so many tourists. And if it's right there on the street in town here in Joshua Tree, it's going to get business every day, all day. All day and all night. If it's in the next town over, you're going to have to go after that business, and I don't want to have to do that. The whole point of putting it here in town is that the tourism is so fucking crazy. There are a few buildings that we could start with, but they're nothing like what we need. We need a big, long, open place. There's a couple of places off the main strip here in town, just a block or so off the main strip. One used to be a brewery. It's got a huge warehouse. That's a first. That one there is probably the best choice. Gotta go catch you later. Take it easy, James. Peace. Thanks for hanging out, man. I appreciate it. I talked to WW. He's still with his family. He told me, I just forgot. It's slipping. So, take care of yourself. I'm gonna be on here for another hour, and then I gotta hit and wiggle. I got to go shake the weasel and all that, yeah. Squigglies. I'm getting eye squigglies. Yeah, that's what I call them. I get these little squiggly things around the sides. You know those where you look right close in your eyes and you see around, and it's got those little squiggly lines on your eyes. Well, I see those. They're kind of a fuzzy, blurry, but I see them. And it's a pain, because it makes me, visually it makes me fucking see a lot of weird shit. There's a lot of blurriness over here. Having a stroke. So I got my first little diagram here, just to kind of give me an idea of what we want to look for eventually with the right size building. It's got to have a stage. The stage mainly is there for the weekends, but most importantly for the kids during the week. Every day after school they have a place to come and play their musical instruments on a stage and practice with their friends and not have to worry about a place to go. Right? That's it. That's all. Youth musicians want it. Here's your place. You can come and hang out. You can pretend to be fucking rock stars if you want. Whatever you want to do. And we'll put a bunch of musical stuff there and then keep adding to it and asking for donations. And there should be a rack on the back wall with guitars and different musical instruments. Down at the bottom there should be rows of drums, drum kits, that kind of shit. So if two kids want to show up and have a drum off, they can set up 2 kits, right? It should be a place where kids can come and do anything they want to do within reason. Oh, good. Yeah, take care, man. I'll see you later. I'll see you tomorrow. Get rid of this eye squiggly here. Yeah. I sent him a message and he said, yeah, I'm still over here with my family. And I'm like, oh, shit, that's right. He said that, but my demented mind doesn't remember shit. So there you go. Yeah, arcade. So I did research. I saved a bunch of sites to a file. There's places in Southern California here locally. We can drive there with a U-Haul truck and pick up a half a dozen machines and bring them home. Or probably have them delivered. Whatever's cheaper. We can rent machines for $100, $200 a month. I would prefer to purchase a whole bunch of machines and then rent to own a couple of special machines. Or rent them and then, yeah, we like this machine, we'll buy it. And then rent a couple of more and, yeah, we like this one, we'll take this one back. Right? TVs and VCRs. I need a whole retro vintage tech department is what I need. Somebody who is either familiar with this stuff or who can become familiar with it really quick. I can help with this kind of stuff because I am familiar with old school electronics, but I'm not familiar with video games and pinballs and that kind of shit. Once you get into it, you just get into it, right? You keep notes and records and diagrams and things so that it's easy to go from technician to technician, person to person. Oh, he's not here, what do we do? Grab his notebook and you open up the notebook and it's got every single machine cataloged, special notes, what to do in case of this, What did we do to fix that? Oh, we did that. Let's write that in the log book. When you have a problem, you don't just go and figure it out. You figure it out, know exactly how you figured it out, and write that in the log book. And then these machines are like that. They're old and temperamental, and they like to have issues. So what do? You keep track of them. This squiggly on my eyeball over here is just really, really bad. My vision is normally out to here, and the squiggly is like into here. Wow. Oh yeah, I gotta get another bong hit together here, because it's what I do. So yesterday we went and we looked at this house that a friend of ours that we caretake his houses, and he has a friend, his friend's son bought a house out here. Really nice piece of property, a house and a little game room separate, and a jacuzzi, all fenced in, really nice. But it's big and a lot of surfaces to clean. So my wife says, okay, well look, this is what I do. We come up with the price that we want. He either meets it or he don't. And I'm like, okay. So it's like a 15 to 20 minute drive from here, which is a little. My wife, she goes out to places that far, so it's a little further than I care to go, but it's a 2-person house, so it's going to have to be really worth the trip out there, and worth having to clean all of that surface space, the floors, a lot of countertops. One whole half of the house is all windows and sliders. I'm like, oh man, if we get a kid in there that's got hands, it's every single window will have to be done, right? That's a lot. With that many, you have to do exterior glass a couple of times a month, right? So you have to have the stuff and the time to do that. All that has to be scheduled in. So it has to be, look, here's how much for the house. If you're going to have a dog, you have to add on this much. I said, well, if they have kids, they got to double it. My wife's laughing, yeah. But it also has to be in the notes that, look, once a month, we have to go outside and wash windows, and then come inside and wash windows. And that's going to be an extra fee, because that's a lot of windows. It's one thing when you've got one window each in 3 bedrooms, and a couple of windows in the living room and a kitchen window, right? Which is a normal house. This place, one whole side of the house is windows. Another whole side of the house is windows. The other walls have giant windows in them, huge sliders. I went and checked 5 sliders on one side. That's too much fucking glass. So if he can get the cleaning fees from the customers, because they have to pay the cleaning fees. If people are willing to pay upwards of $200 or more for a cleaning fee, yeah, we'll probably do it. But we're not going to do it for anything less than $160, plus an extra $40 when we got to do glass or something and try to keep it cool. But even then, that's a hell of a fucking deal. I mean, jeez. We don't usually do a house for less than $100. And that's a normal little 3-bedroom house. This is a 2-bedroom house that's fucking huge. 2 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms, big giant kitchen, huge living room, huge side room. And then I'm like, well, what about that fucking game room? It's going to be a bed sofa in there, which means at some point we're going to have to go in there and clean that fucking thing too, right? Well, there's an extra $40 there. So you have to let people know ahead of time what to expect. If they're going to use that game room as a guest room and have a sofa bed in there, then they need to know that they need to charge extra for that. If you're going to give out the key to that room, you need to charge extra. If somebody's going to sleep in that room, you need to charge extra. I don't do pools and jacuzzis, so you can't even go there. Just the amount of glass and floor space and countertops. Oh, the bathrooms. The bathrooms are wall-to-ceiling glass, right? Wall to floor, the ceiling to floor, wall to wall, all glass, tile, everything has to be washed and then squeegeed. So you have to go in there and squirt everything down with stuff that's gonna do the work for you. And then you have to hose everything down and then squeegee everything. That's a lot of work, especially for a broke-back guy. And because it's glass, it has to be done like that every time, right? When I do normal bathrooms, I don't have to do any deep cleaning or scrubbing like that every time, because I clean it so often. But with water stains, water marks, water drops, drips, you have to squeegee it every fucking time. You know, I just go in with a towel. I spray everything down, let it soak, hose it all down with super hot water, and between the soap and the hot water, now all I have to do is dry it, and while I'm drying it, it's taking off the rest of the residue. I can't do that with, I have to squeegee. The whole, half the bathroom has to be squeegeed. The showers are that big. That leaves the rest of the bathroom, the floor, the toilet, the counter, the sink, the mirror. That's a lot of bathroom, times 2. So the price of this place, for me, has already doubled. It's like, look, it's going to be $200 to clean this place every fucking time. We can cut you a deal, but you have to understand that when we cut you a deal, you come at the back of the line, basically. So, first off, they'll have to have their check-in time at 10 or earlier, or check-out time at 10. Normal is 11 or 12. Some places do it earlier. We'll have to have this one earlier. We have 2 places that check out at 11 and 1 place that checks out at 12. We need an early checkout. If he agrees to have an early checkout, to pay an exorbitant amount of money to clean the place, and charge you extra for dogs, and is willing to pay extra once a month to clean glass. The whole front of the game house is glass. The whole front. 2 sides of the house is glass. It's just ridiculous. So it's a lot of work. If he's going to charge a lot of money for this place, he's going to have to charge a lot of cleaning for it as well. That's the only way to do it. And if, like my wife said, if you don't agree to it, then it's no skin off our teeth. He hires a cleaning agency to come in there and fuck it up once a week. What do we care? All we can do is what we can do. We can't do any better than that. You know, I don't want to do it, actually. I don't want to drive all the way out there and do that and drive all the way back. I don't want to drive all the way out there and be there. I don't want to be there. I don't want to do the house. It's too big. It's too much. After a while, we might get used to it, but it's still too much. The only way to do it is if it's worth it. If they're willing to pay, then we'll do it. And you'd be surprised how much people charge for cleaning fees, right? You pay to rent the place, and then you have to pay almost as much just to get the place clean. It's the way it is. If they agree to pay what we ask, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't do it. But it's going to have to be, look, it's a big house. If somebody has a dog, that's a lot of house to go over for dog hair. A small house, it's easier to go over a small house and get rid of all of the dog hair and the dog schmutz and the nose prints on the glass and stuff. But when you've got that much glass and that many nose prints, that's a lot of fucking work. When you get that much dog hair, that's a lot of work. So it's like $200 for cleaning and $150 for dog, you know, and then an extra $40, $50 a month just for cleaning glass, to go outside and clean glass, the whole house, right? Some of the glass you hit regularly, where they go in and out, the doors they go in and out. If you've got 13 fucking doors they can go in and out and they're all glass, well, son of a bitch, you know, come on. You want to have a bag of gloves, white gloves, right, at the fucking entrance. Don't touch anything without wearing gloves, you fucking bastards. They just get so... My wife had to clean a house the other day where someone sat in the chair, a really nice suede-type velour really nice material. You brush it and it's shiny, and then you brush it and it's dull, right? That kind of material. Somebody had goopy, frosting-covered hands and sat in the chair and grabbed the armrests. And there were two white, goopy, frosting handprints on both arms of the couch. How stupid do you have to be to do that kind of shit? What kind of a parent are you when you let your kid walk around with hands like that? What kind of person are you when you walk around with hands like that? Touch the walls, the glass, the furniture, everything. What kind of parents let their children do this? I do not understand. I want to find these people and I just want to shake them and say, what is your problem? Do you realize what kind of creatures you're putting into the world? Oh, so selfish. So fucking selfish, right? Show the rest of the world some courtesy and raise some decent fucking kids. Make your kids wash your fucking hands. Period. Daily. Daily. Because it's getting to where I'm just, Nobody's around, so I am gonna have to pick up this image myself, and yeah, baby. I'm just picking out the album of the day because nobody has done that yet. So I am doing it right now, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I will be allowed to go and upload this, because, you know, some days it just don't let me upload images right away. So let's hope. We can only hope. There it is. And there it is. Green onions. Booker T and the MGs. Booker T and the MGs, baby. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. Album of the day. Totally, eh? Totally. You know, mainly I just need a place to exhibit a shitload of vintage crap. And what better place to do that than an arcade, right? What better place? There could be no place better to do that than an arcade. I thought I had a pen here, but apparently, I found a lighter. Apparently, I have lost it. So let's see. We're gonna do green onions. Booker T and the MGs. That's it, baby. Okay. Well, that's all I got to say about that. so many different projects in my head. It would be really cool if there were like 8 of me, because half of me would be resting and relaxing while the other half are just cutting it out, and then just trade places, right? Some on pain management, some of us doing a little bit of relaxing, and a whole bunch of us are working, getting shit done. Getting shit done. Yeah. So William, who is not here right now, is hanging out with his family. And I'm not sure where. But I'm sure he's having a ball. Doing a lot of laughing. A lot of laughing. Totally. I got an arcade on the brain. Really. Arcade on the brain. Oh, that's better. We chucked out that creamer that we got the other day. My wife said, well, I don't like it. Because I said, well, yeah, don't throw it away. I mean, if you like it, then drink it. She says, I don't like it. I've had it before. It sucks. Okay, well, now we know. Never get that brand of that flavor. There's a sweet cream down the street at the store. That's a different brand than this Italian sweet cream that we got. That was horrible. Because I like the Coffee Mate Italian sweet creamer. Does that make any sense? So, yeah. I'm hoping the economy changes around here, and because there are so many houses for sale, the market is flooded. I'm hoping it becomes a buyer's market and prices drop, and at some point we're able to kind of maneuver into something better than this. It doesn't have to be much better. In fact, it can be a little worse, as long as it has the potential for better. That's all we need. I think in order to get to where we could think about getting a nice or nicer home, I think it would be important to try to investigate starting a business to facilitate that, because you really need to have some kind of substantial income in order to get a piece of property these days. You know? I mean, just to lease a building to put an arcade in, we're going to have to get co-signers. We're going to have to get we're going to have to get people to say, yes, these people are trustworthy, right? Because we have no credit, we have no record, financial record of business or anything other than paying our meager little rent payment and bills. We really don't have anything to show, right? So leasing a building, other than having a whole lot of money, leasing a building is going to be kind of weird. But then again, nowadays, a lot of weird shit happens. So if we can just figure out the fundraising element and how to get that in a short amount of time, get that to where it would mean something, right? So I think if I rebrand my show, take it to a few social media platforms, advertise it myself, maybe start a monetized channel that gets commercials and have promos on that channel for this channel. Try to get some kind of audience together so that the more audience I have, the more people I can ask for help from. Not, give me money help, but how do I do this? What do I need? Can you spread the word? Can you wear this shirt that has a way to raise money on it, right? That kind of a thing. People helping people. Hands, reaching out to help other hands. That's what I need. I've tried to go after family and friends just for a reunion, just for something for them, right? And I couldn't get that to even budge. It moved a little, but not what I wanted. So in order to raise money for an arcade, I would have to really, really have several different ways to do that. And I'm clueless. So I think the best thing I can do is figure out exactly what we need, what it's going to cost, come up with a budget, and then say, okay, now, how do we get that budget? How do we get to phase 1? Phase 1. A house would work as a big old 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. That would work. I could make that work. I could pull out some non-load-bearing walls, open them up so that you don't have a bunch of enclosed rooms, but you have one room that kind of leads through a bunch of, right? Take out a wall from a living room into a master bedroom, take out a closet, make it a weird little, passageway into another bedroom, and then have it kind of opened up in big chunks so that if there's a room that's closed off by itself, it becomes a back office, There are a couple of pieces of property in town for sale with buildings on them. They want millions of dollars for them, of course, probably. But to lease something, that right there in itself is a whole new can of potatoes, because I know nothing about business leasing a building, what it takes. Then you've got to have liability insurance, right? At an arcade, you got to have I'm sure if you have pool tables, the liability insurance is going to go fucking crazy, right? If the liability insurance for pool tables is crazy, fuck it, we ain't having them. Ain't having them. You never know. It's the bureaucracy that usually destroys a business, or destroys the start of a business. Now, I have done that before, gone through the bureaucracy, created a business, got it up and running. And it's rough, and it's a lot of bureaucracy. And it was the bureaucracy that was destroying me. The fees around operating, the fees around setting up somewhere to operate. It's just fees. I couldn't see any profit. All I was doing was earning enough money to pay fees and bureaucracy and to restock. And then all I was doing was making these guys money, but I was never getting ahead. I was just restocking, paying fees and restocking and paying and restocking and paying. And and gas and food for the day, and all of the restock and all of the fees and stuff, you make such a minuscule profit. Unless you're in it to go to these places and do things, it's not really worth it. If you're in it to go to these festivals and enjoy the day, then that's great. Then you're doing it for free by providing stuff for people and doing a business. Other than that, you might make a few bucks, right? What's the point? If I can sit in one place all day long and make change and sell hot dogs and watch people play arcade games, I think that would probably turn a way big profit. How? Indeed. With no seed money to start with, how do you actually get from here to there? Let's say 125,000. 125K would be like the minimum that I would need to get started. The 25K alone would just be to put a down payment on a building, lease it for 6 months, right? Paint it and refurbish it and get it ready. Put a small kitchen in it, and what liability, and should I say that? Liability insurance. I mean, that's a lot of. 100,000 barely covers the rest, and the rest is just machines and appliances. That's it. Machines and appliances, machines and appliances. If the business has enough to start with, machines and appliances, then every month it should see enough growth to increase in size in machines. The lease, the rent should be paid 6 months at a time, so that you're putting that money away for the lease. Doing 6 months makes it a smaller amount that you have to pay compared to monthly. Annually, you pay a little bit less because they're getting a big chunk of money at once, so they'll cut you a deal. I know that much. I know you can cut deals. So if I can go to a video store, video game place, and say, look, I'm going to start an arcade, and I want some good games. You need to sell me this many games at this price, period. Because I'm going to be renting 2 games, and then I'm going to be buying a game a month, right? For 6 months, 12 months. I see so much growth over the first year, and then we need turnaround, right? Service contracts for the first 6 months to a year. So if I can cut the right deals in the right places, hey, that'll work. Deals. Dean. It's gotta be about the deals, you know. So people who donate big chunks of money locally, we'll give them, like, depending on how much they donate, it's like, look, you donated X amount, so that means that in the first year or at any point you can come and say, look, I need the arcade for one event, one night, and then you get it. You get it, period. Right? I think if we go after people, so that way they're donating, but they also get a kickback. If they've donated enough, when we get to a certain level financially, we can say, look, here's a little something to say thank you, right? But to be able to offer a night, a day, a whole event, and we'll staff it, and we'll open it, and we'll be there, and we'll help you with your event. And all you have to do is provide your guests and a menu, right? Shit. I think we could safely do that. And then rent the place out on occasion for events. Totally. Hey, Sam. What's going on, bud? Sam. Mira. Tengo tu cobija. Mira. Mira. Come here. Come here. Come here. Mira, they're coming. There you go. That's my boy. That's my buddy. My little doggy dog. Duérmete. 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 Little guy. Well, the house is waking up. It's just about to wake up in here. Kitchen's going to be opening soon. I'm going to be wrapping this show up for the day so I can do something. I want to be productive doing something. I don't know, maybe I'll switch gears and go back to working on arcade research. I think that what I might do is drive around locally and look at some of the properties available and see if there's anything that might fit that I can call and ask about, right? You never know. I mean, just to gauge what's happening locally as far as buildings. You know, if we started and we had to start in like the next town over because it's a better, cheaper building, right? Then we would have to get a billboard. We would have to advertise here in this town for the games in the next town over. And then we'd have to have huge signage that's just screamed arcade, right? But that laundromat building has just been dormant for a long time, and it would be a perfect fit. You know, retrofitting the water would be the only issue. And I can do that. Turn off all the water, start cutting and capping, man. Easy peasy. I could knock all of that shit out. I could do one fucking building in a day, cutting and capping pipes. You know, fucking cut it back into the wall, cut the wall open, cut it back into the wall, fucking snip that pipe off, fucking smooth it out, put a cap on it with some fucking flux, some solder, and that shit's done. Next. You know, I'd go through, cut all the walls open, go through, cut all the pipes back, get everything ready, dry fit everything, and then go through and solder everything at once and be done in like a day, half a day. Come back the next day, cover up all of the drywall and start patching. Easy. There's a laundromat here in town. It's way too well, it's small. It would work, but it's still open and active. If that place were to die in the next year, we'd probably gobble it up and use it for the arcade. But I wouldn't feel comfortable and probably couldn't get a monthly on a building for less than 6-month lease paid at a time. Just to prove, like, I'm investing a huge chunk of money in being here. So there would be some trust formed right there. Totally. Anywho, it's been a pretty cool morning. It's been really mellow and slow. I kind of feel like James with the no lawnmower happening. But I've had a lawnmower all morning. It's been really peaceful the last few mornings. Hard to wake up, actually. It's been so mellow. Totally. Yep. I think fundraising, arcade, and fundraising. I think that's going to be my study for the day. And then I don't want to tell anyone locally what I'm thinking. I don't want to look up one day and see an arcade in town either. That would really piss me off. So I don't want to let the cat out of the bag quite yet. In fact, not until it's just about ready to open. That's when I would like to start saying, hey, by the way, there's an arcade right fucking here. There's a couple of spots in town that are perfect, but they've already been taken over by, those crappy little foo-foo places that pop up everywhere in a tourist town. And I'm hoping that when it's time, something will come available, just pop up, that'll be perfect. Just enough square footage to get started, right? Because if you can prove that this is happening, you can get a loan for a piece of property in a building and just boom, buy a piece of property, have a metal building put up overnight, and start within that metal building, create your arcade. Easy. You could do that in 6 months. And if the arcade is bringing in enough dineros, then it's possible. Or buy the building that you're leasing and then add on to it, right? That would be possible too. I wouldn't want to get investors. I would want to get donors. Investors require something in return. Donors just want to make it happen, right? Pardon me. When the business took off, I would go back to those donors and figure out a way to repay them somehow. The big donors, right? Little donors, prove you're a little donor and come play for free, hang out, do whatever you want. Big donors, I would want to give them something back. Karma, I like to drive my karma in the right direction. So there. We got about 15 minutes left in the show this morning. The kitchen's open, the house is awake. I got a dog at my toes here. And, yeah. And it's cold out there. It's 54, but it feels like 40. My goodness. My goodness. It's time to fry up some green onions. I'm going to fry up some green onions. That's what I want, baby. Let's see. Tomorrow morning is, it's Throwback Thursday. Go ahead, go throw up. Totally. What is today? Huh? It is Wednesday. Okay, I thought for a second there, I thought it might be Tuesday. So tomorrow is Throwback Thursday. I don't know what we're doing tomorrow. The rest of this month is kind of goofy because of the holidays and everything that's been going on. Hi. Let's go ahead. Go ahead, buddy. Get comfy. Get comfy. There you go. Poor little fella. Trying to get his... I gotta make a nice bed under my desk here for these guys, because I want to draw them in. I want them to come hang out regularly. Something like that. Well, and I think that after I start doing some kind of secondary channel with a crossover, I should be able to get some more viewing on the channel, right? I'm not looking for any awards. I'm not looking for any giant numbers on anything. I would like to have a lot more people around for word of mouth, right? That's all. And at some point, if we get to fundraising, I can spread the word. I can send people shirts, right? I have to have a way. I'm going to have to put my email in the description and set up my email to notify me of things, because this is stuff I just ignore. So I will have to get into the regular habit of checking emails and getting information from people. If I can come up with a way to have a donation place and a code on shirts, then I will have shirts made, and I will have shirts sent to anybody who will ask for them. Anybody who will donate and ask for a shirt. Hats with them on. Whatever it takes, right? Not just the logo, but something that says why, what the logo is. So you can take a picture of it and look, but you instantly know arcade. Help fund my arcade. That's all I want. That's all I ever wanted. That's all I want out of life. I'll die a happy man if I can have my own arcade. That's it. That's all. Because I know that one thing would set off everything else. And I think that I could get the help to do it at this point. I think so. I think I can. So yeah, it's just about time to go heat up my coffee and hang out with the missus and eat a muffin and drink coffee and talk about stuff. It's almost morning. I'm still on last night. That's what this is. I'm still just running on empty, running on, running on. No, totally. Totally. I guess the missus is probably going to take off this morning and go do something. So I'm just going to wait. See what she's going to do. Totally, man. Crazy, man. Fucking crazy. Oh yeah, yesterday we drove into Joshua Tree National Park, and we pulled in the back entrance because we were in 29 Palms. So we went in the back entrance, and we pulled over a couple of times at the little pullouts to kind of look and go ooh ah, and then I took the first road off the main strip. And we pulled off and right over to this little turnout on this dirt road. And there was this great pile of rocks, boulders and shit. Just giant granite rocks. And so I'm like, I want to climb to the top of that. And I'm sure both my wife and Joey were thinking, yeah, right, he's never going to make it. And I went all the way to the top. I got all the way to the top and waved at them as they were halfway up. And then by the time, and then I said, look, come to the top, because you can just walk right off the backside, and it's dirt, and you can just walk down the hill from there, and it's an easy walk, because I can see it from the top. So they're like, yeah, sure. I said, well, come on. I said, yeah. So my wife says, go on. So I did. I turned around, and I walked all the way out the backside of the top of this fucking giant pile of rocks. And I just very casually strolled out on the dirt and down the hill and around to the car. And I was in the car for 10 minutes, sitting there chilling out, listening to the radio with the air conditioner on, when they finally came down around the same path, looking for me, wondering where I had fallen or gotten lost, whether I was looking for them, right? And I'm flashing my lights and hitting the turn signal to get them to go further over this way and whatnot. And I did it. I went all the way to the top. And I didn't hurt myself. And I thought, all right, I'm going to go as long as I'm not in severe pain, right? If my pain increases in any way, I'm done. I'm going to turn around and go back. And I just went really slow up the rocks, a little bit here, a little bit this. And instead of climbing up the rocks forward, I would just turn around and back myself up the rocks, squeeze myself in between a couple of boulders like this, put my feet up here, and just walk myself up. And I did that a few times. And by the time I got to two-thirds of the way up, I found a path that was resistance-free all the way to the rest of the top. And then it was just smooth sailing coming down. So I took my time coming down and explored and looked at rocks at my feet and stuff, and it was really, really cool. I want to try to do that more because my body needs it. So I wanted to convince myself yesterday that I could. And I did, and it worked. And I'm not destroyed over it. I was a little beat up when we got home yesterday. But I'm not destroyed this morning, and that says a lot. So I think that if I try to do that at least twice a week for a couple of weeks, and then increase it, throw in a day every now and again, and try to increase it so that every day eventually I'm out taking some kind of long walk adventure. I don't really want to walk around the neighborhood because it's kind of boring, but I'd like to drive somewhere, park, and get out and climb something or hike something or walk somewhere, right? And do something different every time. So that way it's an actual adventure, right? Okay, let's go out, let's go to work, and then before we go to the grocery store to get dinner to come home, let's stop over here and go for a walk and go for a hike, and then we'll finish off and come home, right? And just trying to increase the amount of shit that I do, because I have such a sedentary life right now. I just sit and do this. That's all I do. When I'm not doing this, I'm doing something else that requires me to just sit down and do nothing, right? Kind of boring. And because I'm in so much pain all the time, I really don't want to get up and add to that. So if I can go out and do it casually and not add to it, and then eventually get to the point to where I'm doing harder and harder walks and hikes, sure, we could go that way. We could do that. Yeah, hear me now. Totally. Trying. Let's see. I need to bring in... cartoon? Is that what this is? Hey, there it is. I did bring it in. Okay. So now I can just go here to my cartoon room when I need to cover up the cameras real quick. And I don't have to switch screens or go to my desk cam or something. That's cool. That's neat. I like that. Okay. I remember loading that up, but gosh darn it if I don't just remember anything anymore. That's cool. I need to do a new one of those and try to get some cool angles so I can throw up some graphics. Yeah, that'd be cool, man. Real excited about doing the new openings for the next season. It's a lot of fun. I can't wait to share all of that with you. Every day should be something new and different and exciting. Not just the openings and the closings, but the entire show. All of the elements should be new and exciting and fresh and adventurous. And we'll have a range of topics to talk about every day. We will go from week to week. We will carry over thoughts and ideas from one week to the next and expand upon them, and then take those new ideas from that week and carry them over to the next week. So every week we're gonna upload the next week by our comments and commentary, and our discussions are gonna drive the next week, and so on, with each day. So the input on Movie Monday is going to influence the show next week, and so on. Fridays, we will always be talking about the past, and we will be talking about it in a forum kind of steeped in the past. I'm not sure exactly what the screen's going to look like. I don't want to use too much stuff again and again. I don't want to use too many elements created AI. I'd like to do a combination. But if I'm going to do AI stuff, I like to kind of keep it all themed and together and flowing, and I don't want to drop in a bunch of weird stuff where you go, oh, AI, not AI, AI, and I just want it to look all like one, some of the things that I use are going to look real, and some of them are going to look animated. The stuff that I want to look real, I want it to look real because I want you to feel like we're really going somewhere. Yeah. All right, I'm going to do my last bong hit of the morning. Well, with y'all. Whoa. Yeah. So tomorrow's Throwback Thursday. I don't know where we're throwing back to, but join us, because we're going to throw on back. We're going to throw on back into the past somewhere. Going back in time every day. Every day. That's what we do. We go back in time here. All right, people, you know what to do. Spread peace and love, not bullshit, right? Do something for yourself out there, but do something for somebody else too. Why? Because you can. Makes you feel good. Makes somebody else feel good. Makes the world a better place. Makes you a better person. Just do it. Just do it. Just go out and do it, all right? Most especially stay weird, because if you ain't weird, ain't nobody going to be weird for you, baby. You got to do it yourself. You got to put in the effort. You got to put in the time. You got to put in the work, all right? You know what I mean? So take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Be nice. The nicer the world you create, the nicer the world you have to live in. Make a nice world. Live in a nice world. All right, people. Love you so much. Thanks for stopping by, James, and everyone out there who's been bopping in and out and watching. I appreciate it. Look forward to more excitement next season, because it's going to get crazy up in here. All right, people, take care of yourselves. And until tomorrow, adios.